토스 앞에 나타난 위풍당당 풍호. 뭐야? 너 어서 좀 놀았냐? 너가 그렇게 막 나간다는 토스야? 남봉꾼 토스에게 제대로 시비 거는 풍호. 갑자기 날쌔진 토스의 선고. 그냥 한 대 툭 쳤을 뿐인데 끝났다. 그러니까 성님이 왕입니다요. 절 받으십시오.
I don't really need to say much because the lion is obviously a male, and the tiger, although it was set in a position where the testicles couldn't be visible, by analyzing its very muscular structure and its facial hairs along with its comparable size to the lion, possibly even bigger, I can say for a matter of fact it's a male. Male tigers tend to be much more robust than females. Also, their facial hairs are usually much longer than females. Where do I even begin with this one? There are just so many things that a lot of people missed in this 30-second clip. So today I'll be exposing this for what it actually is. First things first, from what I've seen, people believe that this is the same lion and tiger from the beginning of the video that fought near the ending of the video. Let me tell you why they're all wrong. This whole fight scene was heavily manipulated. There wasn't just one lion or one tiger involved. There were actually 3 lions and 2 tigers involved. The first lion, which is a subadult by the way, had absolutely nothing to do with this. He was simply put there as stock footage to make it seem as though he was the one stalking the tiger, when in reality he had absolutely nothing to do with it. Why, you may ask? At the very beginning of the video, when you look behind the subadult lion, there's nothing there, right? Just the road, some grass and some trees. Oh, and a big rock. Well, when they finally cut across to the supposed subadult lion attacking the tiger, which they want you to believe, first of all, look at the background. A blackgate suddenly appeared. I didn't know blackgates have psychic powers where they could disappear and reappear at will. Oh, and the big rock, that also disappeared too. And I never remember seeing a blackgate with the first lion, so... And towards the very ending of the clip, we get to see a full view of the male lion which attacked the female tiger. And by observing this lion, we spot some key differences. When you look at the subadult lion, you see that he doesn't have any fat. But when you look at the older lion, he possesses fat. This further proves that these are 2 different individuals. What about the third lion? Well, as you can clearly see, this lion doesn't resemble the first nor the second. He doesn't possess any excess fat like the second lion and doesn't in no way resemble the first. Not to mention his forelimbs are a lot thicker than the first. Also, his mane is a lot lighter than the first, which had more darker parts in the mane that was distributed all over. For the 2 tigers, we have 1 female and 1 male. The female was the one that got bluff charged by the second lion. And the male tiger is the one that fought the third lion, who isn't even fully grown by the way. Because the mane is also quite short. Not to mention he still has a very slight mohawk, which are most prominent in males that are 2 to 4 years of age. I have also seen a lot of rumors that the lion was Asiatic and the tiger being Siberian. First of all of those claims are wrong. These are 3 African lions, and both the female and the male tiger are Bengal. Also, to prove these 2 are different tigers, 1. Their stripe patterns don't match. 2. Notice that the female has a noticeable skin fold on her underbelly, and the male doesn't. And lastly, no one even questioned how the female went from being slender to shredded. How didn't anyone notice that? So no one found it odd. In the first clip, she was very slender, and in the fight scene, she suddenly became very muscular and robust. Strange. So yeah, in conclusion, there wasn't 1 lion and 1 tiger. Turns out, there were actually 5 different individuals involved. This whole fight scene wasn't much of a fight as both fanatics claim. First and foremost, this fight was less than 5 seconds, or to be more precise, 3 seconds long. In that short space of time, the tiger initiated 7 paw swipes in which only 5 landed. 1 landed on the paw, the other on the forearm, 1 around the bicep area, and the other at the side of the head, making the lion's head tilt a bit. and the last blow struck him near the shoulder area, which made the lion's head come back up again. The lion initiated 4 paw swipes, in which only 3 landed, and the very first blow barely grazed on the tiger's chest area. Definitely wasn't effective. The second was around the bicep area, and the last one struck the tiger most likely on the bicep area again. In terms of accuracy, the lion did slightly better because it had a smaller fraction of hits, but most of its hits weren't that effective. Same applies for the tiger, although there was that one hit that the tiger made on the lion's head which made the lion tilt a bit, but neither landed any hard blows. Because this should really be called a scuffle, not a fight. Both individuals didn't put up much of a fight. Despite the lion turning his head a split second before the tiger, this was still a draw because the tiger forfeited as well. If one stayed and the other retreated, we'd have more of a definite winner, but both individuals forfeited at the end, thus making it a draw. Besides, this wasn't much of a fight to begin with. Also, I just noticed something. Upon editing the video, remember that time when I said the tiger struck the lion making his head tilt? When I slowed down the footage, you could actually see the lion bending his head before the tiger even stretched out his paw. So what the lion basically did here was, he basically dodged the blow, basically cushioning it, making the blow less effective. But this also gives an illusion that the tiger struck the lion so hard that his head tilted, when it actually didn't. The lion was the one who tilted his head in the first place. Now, to be honest, I find this very strange because this was executed so well that no one questioned it. Even down to the humidity, they even nailed it. Because when you look at the sub-adult, you can see that most of his coat was wet, making him appear darker. Same for the second lion, making them look almost identical, because they're basically both wet. Even down to the roads were wet in both separate scenes, making it even more believable. Yeah, so the fact that they did this had me really skeptical. Because to be fair, I personally think that this is some sort of propaganda to give you the illusion that a tigress is enough for a male lion. And I think what they did here is basically fed the minds of tiger fans, making them believe more that a tigress is enough for a male lion. Which is one of the most horrendous concepts I've ever seen in this debate so far. I'm gonna put this out there. A female tigress is no match for a fully grown prime adult male lion. End of story. But again, the way how they did this and they executed this, they basically fed the minds of tiger fans, making them believe that this tigress is enough for a male lion, or at least they could handle a male lion. Because it proves to be effective, because I've seen many comments from tiger fans saying that it was a female tiger, to make it seem as though even male lions cannot even handle female tigers. And to be honest, I don't even blame the tiger fans for believing this, because this was executed so well that, because literally every single person that watched this didn't even pick this up. They didn't even realize that there were multiple lions and tigers involved, and that the clip was heavily manipulated right in front of their eyes. Also, this isn't the first time they've done this. They've done this to many other big fights between lions and tigers. It's either they manipulated it just like this one you've seen here today, or they don't even show the full clip, or just leave it as a cliffhanger and never actually post the full video at all. And you don't have to worry, because I'll be exposing all of those clips soon enough. But for now, baby steps. So this whole fight basically got exposed, and I urge both lion and tiger fans to be careful when watching these fights, because even down to the original footage, they as well get manipulated. And when lion and tiger fans get their hands on them, they tend to twist it even more. So I urge you all to be very mindful and be very open-minded when watching these clips, because they can be easily manipulated right in front of your eyes and you wouldn't even notice.